Today I'm at Bletchley Park. That name may sound familiar if you've read anything on the Enigma project and the codebreakers of World War II in Britain. Now, this is an Enigma machine right here. These were used to send coded messages across the airwaves, and were used by the Axis forces. Now, this gate you're seeing here is where the intercepted messages would come through on motorcycle dispatch and would be brought into the compound secretly and brought down this alleyway here. Now, if you've seen any of the movies or pictures of the site, you'll have no doubt have seen this mansion. This is part of the original structures that was built here in the 1800s. This was a fine old house made for a spacious office. Now, a lot of the code breakers that worked here didn't actually work in the house. They worked in separate huts and buildings external to the main house here. We get a closer shot up here. There's the house itself. A little bit of frost on the ground today. The British knew they needed a place outside of London they could do their code-breaking activities secretly and without as much fear of being bombed as London would be. And in May 1938, a man named Sinclair, who was in charge of MI6, also known as SIS, bought the estate for £6,000 with his own money after the government said they couldn't fund the project. And work got started shortly after that. Now, the site is located near Milton Keynes, and it's in a good spot near the Bletchley train station, which was used quite a bit for getting the recruits from the two major universities they were pulling from, which was Cambridge and Oxford. They were seeking out folks with mathematician type backgrounds, and also quite a few linguists, and I would say about 3/4 of the staff were ladies from the Royal Navy, also referred to as Wrens. Let's go inside and have a look. All right, this is the view as you come in the front door. Bust of Churchill there. Wow, this must have been a fabulous home at one time. And I'm sure it was a spectacular place to work if you were lucky enough to work in the house. A lot of the major work was divided up and compartmented and done in the outer huts and buildings outside of this house.
There used to be a fireplace here.
Ah.
And this was the commander's office here. Had a secretary's desk off to the side there. And looks like he had a good view. Plenty of natural light on sunny days. Wow, that's quite an elaborate ceiling. Very nice. This is one of the other front rooms. I'm not sure what would have been in this room. Some museum artifacts in here.
But it was only by someone, something getting through to us, which happened in the pigeon, that we got a true picture of what was going on.
The incredible navigational skill of the pigeons was a vital component in their ability to act as intelligence gatherers. It allowed Winky, Mary of Exeter, and the GI.
This is what some of the outer huts look like. They evidently divided it up into different taskings, and it was compartmentalized so you didn't know what the other guys were doing in the other buildings, or other people, I should say, since it was a lot of ladies here as well. And here's the garage area. Some of the cars that they've got on display here were used in, I think it's the Enigma movie that came out a few years back. They've got those on display here in the garage. Go over there to that. Some vintage motorcycle and some very nice cars. View of some of the other huts here on the compound. Evidently some of these were stone and some of these were, or brick I should say, and some are made of wood, it looks like. They've been restored. A lot of the wood ones were in bad shape. In one of the outer huts is Alan Turing's office. You can see it here. It's quite small, and besides the desk lamp, only had one light bulb hanging from the ceiling, so it's very dimly lit in there. But a lot of important work was surely done in this room. Here's one of the Enigma boxes. This particular one's an Italian Navy Enigma. And they are quite fascinating, these boxes. I guess I'll wrap up my video with this. If you're in the Milton Keynes area, you got to come out and see Bletchley Park. It's great.